So today we're going to be talking about making 2023 very profitable. I guess the first thing we should talk about is generating revenue, right? That's the most important thing when we think about growing our businesses is generating revenue. And the first topic that comes to mind for me is to make sure that you know exactly who your ideal client is and you know what product or service you sell to them. And I know that sounds really silly, but sometimes we find when we talk to business owners, they may be in the middle of developing new products or services, or they may be in the middle of switching their niche, or maybe they have a really wide niche, and so making their marketing more challenging. So if you can get really clear on who your ideal client is, and then making sure that you have a really good offer, something that is going to help them, that you feel confident with. And then the next thing is looking at your pricing, because you want to make sure you're pricing it right. We find that women often underprice their services. So making sure that you have a really good price on your product or service so that it is going to be profitable for you and that it is worth the time for you to deliver it with the best customer service and for you to make sure that your client is actually getting the results that you have promised.
And I would add to that, make sure you're not spending all of your time creating something. We can all get in a loop where we're spending all of this time just creating an online course. And now I'm going to create this online course, and then I'm going to create that online course. And maybe they're all fantastic, but the key is you got to do the marketing. You got to get them out in front of the people who are the ones who need that information or who need to buy those so that they can make their life better.
Yeah, so that's the number one tip, is to market your business. Have a really strong strategy to market the product or service that you feel very confident with and that you know exactly who you're speaking with. Because you really can't come up with a marketing strategy unless you know exactly who your ideal client is, because messaging is so important in your marketing strategy. So if you want to grow your revenue, you want to make sure that your marketing is in relationship to that goal. So in other words, if you did $1,000 a month in 2022 and you want to do $10,000 a month in 2023, you're going to have to figure out how to get yourself in front of more customers who can buy from you, more potential clients who are going to raise their hand and say, yes, I want to work with you. And that really boils down to your marketing strategy and then the implementation of that strategy. Because again, if you don't have revenue, it's a hobby, right? That's what separates a business and a hobby, is when you really start generating revenue. And I feel like so many people are great at creating their products or their services and really making sure they're great at what they do, but then it falls flat when it comes to getting their marketing and their message out there. And I think it just boils down to sometimes not knowing exactly what to say or how to say it or where to say it. And all those things are important. And a cohesive strategy that you can implement consistently and then track results, because there's no such thing as a perfect person and there's no such thing as a perfect marketing strategy. It's anything else. You have to look at what's working, do more of that, look at what's not working, figure out if you can tweak it and make it work or eliminate it. So it really is about looking at your marketing strategy as a whole and then tracking what's working and what's not working in order to get in touch with enough people to buy your product or service. So that would be our number one thing, is making sure you're marketing to generate the revenue that you need to hit the goals that you're setting for yourself.
And you hit the right word. It was consistency.
Yes.
Making sure that you are consistently showing up, because it's not only important for you to be out there talking all the time about what you offer and how you can help people, but it's important for people to see you, because then you're building that trust with them. You're telling them, I'm going to show up for you, and I'm going to show up for you every day or every week or every month. And I'm going to be in your inbox. I'm going to be on my Facebook page. I'm going to be in my group. I'm going to be on TikTok and Instagram and all those places, because there's a really good chance that out of the billions of people in this world, there are some on each platform who could use your help. Yeah. So it's really important, like Kirsten said, it's important to be consistent. It's important to have the right wording. You really need to know what people's issues are. What's their challenges? What challenge are you helping them with? That's probably the biggest one. Yeah. But a lot of times you want to put yourself in their position and say, I know where you've been because chances are you do. And I know how to help you get out of there. And what they need to hear, that's what they need to know. And you just have to keep telling them and to keep telling them, because sometimes you reach out to people and it's not the right time for them.
Yes.
Maybe they're having family issues or they're having business issues or they've got so much going on that it's just not the right time. So it's really important to stay consistent. So when it is the right time, that they know how to find you and that you are there for them.
And Jeannie mentioned all of these great ways to communicate with people and to market to them online. But this stands true too if you're networking in person. So I like to get out and involved with the community, and I belong to several different networking groups locally. But I'm only going to get clients from those groups if I show up consistently and participate. So for some of you, if you've done a lot of local networking, networking online is very similar. You have to show up, and it really is a people game. And in fact, I feel like growing a business is a contact sport, kind of like football, right? If you're not smashing into enough people, you're not going to make any money. And so it really is just a matter of really caring about the people that you're talking to, only offering your product or service to the people that you can truly help, because that's about being ethical, and getting your message in line so that when the person hears it at the right time, they're ready. Jeannie and I are able to track who lands on our website. We can see what pages they go to. We can also see when people opt into our different lead magnets. And one of the things that we've realized by tracking everything is a lot of people will sign up for 2, sometimes 3 of our lead magnets before they book a call. And what's really fascinating is when we're on a call with someone and they're quoting something that I said in a video. You said this in this video. And so it tells you that they are watching. They're looking at the content that you're putting out. They're listening to the message. They're figuring out if they like you. They're figuring out if they trust you. And that's what your marketing needs to do. It needs to build know, like, and trust. And it needs to let them know, hey, you've got this problem and I know I can solve it. And I'm a good person and you can see clearly that I care about you and that I'm going to make this happen for you. And I think that's really just so important with marketing, because we buy from brands we trust. We buy from brands we like. And I know as a small business owner, we don't necessarily think of ourselves as a brand, so to speak, even though that's a big boy term, it's still true for us. And so consistently showing up lets people know that you're not a fly by the seat of your pants business. You're not here today, gone tomorrow. And I think that's what consistency says to people, whether it's online or offline marketing.
Yeah. And I love how you talk about offline marketing, because that's a lot of what Kirsten taught me how to do. And I feel like as far as online marketing goes, that video can substitute for some of that, because people see you, they see what you're talking about, they hear you, they listen to how you're wording things, they decide, can I relate with that person? Do I feel like they understand me? It can come through in text. Don't get me wrong, copywriting is really important.
Yeah.
But there is no substitute for being in front of someone and talking to them. Whether it's on a live, there are people, they'll still talk to you via their comments. So it is still interactive. Or on YouTube, when you've got your videos out there, again, people are commenting, but that's nice because they can watch it when they're ready to watch it, when it's right for them, when they've got a problem. They're going to go and search on YouTube when they have a problem, whether it's fixing something on your car or growing your business. They're going to go there and search for it. And we want to see you to be the one answering that for them and showing them that you can help them with what you do.
Yeah. Another thing to take into consideration with online marketing is we're always really big on building your email list, because we learned ages ago, back when Facebook first came out with fan pages, just to tell you how long Jeannie's had her marketing agency. But when we first started working with clients back then, some of them thought, oh, I don't need a website because I've got this great page. And what happens is Facebook changes things, or you can say or do something wrong and it could ban you. And that's true with all of the platforms. We've always been really big on making sure that you are getting people to sign up for your lead magnets. So you do have their email address or perhaps their phone number so you can text them, because you want a way to actually be able to stay in contact with them and continue to nurture and build a relationship. But the other side of your marketing strategy needs to be making sure you're doing what Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, what those platforms want you to do. Okay. So we all know that they want video content. They want video marketing content. So it doesn't make sense for us to just keep putting up stagnant posts or sharing links to old articles. They want original content and they want video content. So if you know what they're looking for, that's going to give you a chance, a much higher chance of them putting your information in front of more people, your content. So when you think about your strategy, you think about what you're going to do, think about, what does Instagram want? They want reels. What does Facebook want? They want stories. What does LinkedIn want? They want carousels. So, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for us to provide content that they feel like people want to watch, because all of the social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of them are advertising platforms. And so the goal is to have people stay on the platform as long as possible. And if you're creating content that is really informative and helps people, they're going to watch it longer. They're more likely to go and watch additional content that you have, which means they're staying on the platform longer. And that platform notices, hey, people that go to Sally's YouTube channel, they end up watching 12 to 20 minutes of video consistently. They'll watch 2 or 3 of our videos back to back. So Sally's videos are obviously keeping people here on YouTube. So let's show Sally's videos more often. And really, it's that simple. They want people to stay on the platforms. So when we're creating content, we want to think about how we can make sure you're actually providing value or entertainment. Some videos are more entertaining than just value-based. Making sure that your editing is interesting. The things that are going on in your video are going to keep people visually engaged. Or on things like your reels or your shorts, making sure that you have all the words on the screen, because people often watch those without audio. So doing all the things that make sure that people will most likely continue to watch your content is going to be important. So again, consistency, and then thinking about creating content that really brings value, making it interesting as far as your editing style goes, and doing everything you can do to keep that person on that content so that more of your content will get pushed out to other people. Now, along with that, you also want to make sure that your content has a call to action, right? We want people to do something. And some of that is engage, comment below. Some of that can be subscribe and ring the bell to get notified. Other things could be, hey, I've got this free masterclass. When you finish watching this video, there's a link in the description below. Sign up and check it out. So you want to make sure that you have clear call to actions in all of your content that lets people know what to do. And I think there's a really good rule of thumb, Jeannie, and you may be able to speak more to this, but instead of always asking people to go off of the platform, in other words, signing up for your lead magnet or going from Instagram to YouTube, you can ask them for engagement. Ask them to have conversations with you, because that also helps with the algorithm. It shows that people are engaging with you. And then once they've engaged with you, you can very easily say, hey, thanks so much for commenting. Would you like to check out this masterclass that I've done? And then you can DM them or whatever you want to do with that once you get to that point. So making sure that your content is not always taking them off of the platform, but trying to get engagement, and that's going to help you as well.
Yeah, and you could do something as easy as put hashtag yes if you agree with me in the comments, because people do like to engage. They find it fun to comment back or put emojis. So give them a really easy way to do that. If you want more, I'll be happy to share more with you. Just put hashtag more in the comments and I'll reach out to you directly. Because a lot of people don't think that anybody's ever going to reach out to them, a live person, directly.
Yeah, but I think that's where small businesses have the superpower, right? Have the ability to actually build real relationships with people. Also contributes to your revenue because you get a lot of referrals. We get a ton of referrals, clients who have worked with us and hired their virtual assistant and their marketing strategy is going well. They tell other people about us. And so by having that personal relationship with people can be really priceless. But on the flip side of that, sometimes it doesn't always have to be you. So in other words, sometimes one of our virtual assistants may fill in for Jeannie and comment back to someone. Jeannie was just recently out of the country for a death in the family. And so we were able to keep everything going and stay in relationship with people while she was gone, because there's several of us that were able to do that. So as you build your business and as you build your team, you can still show up and give people personal relationship, but sometimes have someone else behind the scenes doing some of that work for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually want to swing back, if I may, to talking about email and opt-ins. One of the call to actions that Kirsten was talking about was having people opt in for something free. And it could be a free video series or a free tip sheet or something along those lines. And the reason that I'm really a big fan of that, or we both are, is because we have seen, and I recently have seen at least 2 people with very big Facebook groups. We're talking tens of thousands of people in their Facebook group, and all of a sudden it's gone.
Mhm.
So now, if you don't have their email address to say, hey, you may have seen that the group isn't there anymore. I don't know what happened, but here's a link to the new group.
Right.
If you don't have their contact information, you're a little bit stuck. And then I've also known people who've been hacked and have lost all their connections and revenue generating groups and things. Keep that in mind when you are too focused in one place or too focused on a platform that could just pop you right off.
Yeah, a guy I was talking to last night, his Google My Business account got shut down. And he's like, I have no idea what I did wrong. I'm trying to figure it out. He said, I had a lot of great reviews, and that's where I would send people to do testimonials. And he said, it's just gone. Like, they've completely shut me out. And that is one of the challenges with having all these great free platforms for us to market on. We just want to make sure that we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket, so to speak. And even if you're dividing your eggs among all the social media baskets, you still want to have a basket for email addresses and text messages or phone numbers so you can take care of text messaging. Because again, that relationship is really important, and you can lose it like that if something happens with the platform. So it's securing that revenue. So I guess the next thing we want to talk about, Jeannie, is their revenue goals. So when you think about setting your goal, we always set a revenue goal for the business, and we also set our personal revenue goal. And we also are really geeky, so we also set a profit goal too, because we want to make sure that our business is really profitable. We would like to encourage you guys to do as well, set your goals, and then make your plan to achieve those goals. So it's one thing to say, I want to make 100,000, or I want to make 500,000, or I want to make $1 million. But is that gross revenue, or is that income? Like, what are you looking to do? And then what do you have to do? What steps do you have to take to make it happen? Because I know writing down the goals really important. And I know in the manifesting community, which Jeannie and I are very big on, is manifesting. It's not worry about the what or the why or the how, just manifest it. And I think that really doesn't always work so well. I think at some point you do have to take action. But what we have found is that when we spend time at the beginning of the year thinking about the marketing strategy and how we can tweak it and how we can make it better, and we're setting those goals, Jeannie and I often say, I think I just had something come to me and I feel like I should take inspired action. And what does that mean? For us, it means that we have our marketing set for the week or the month or whatever, but all of a sudden something comes to one of us and we're like, we need to act on this now. We need to create a video on it. We need to do a training on it. We need to get a post out about it. For some reason, I'm getting this desire to take this action. And I think that's how manifesting works. You have to put in the work. You have to have a plan, but you have to be open for that inspired action and for those downloads that you can get that can make what you're doing better or improve what you're doing. Or sometimes it can even give you the insight that you maybe need to change what you're doing, which again is what we say, watch your numbers, look at what's happening, because you're always tweaking to make your marketing strategy better.
Yeah. And as much as we want you to be consistent and we want you to be on top of things, you also have to think about, if you want a different result, you have to do some different things.
Yeah.
If you didn't make the money you wanted to make this year, what are you going to do next year differently so that you can achieve the goals that you want to achieve? Because you absolutely can, without a doubt. You know, there's lots of money out in the world. There are lots of people who need what you have to offer. It's just a matter of finding them and using the right words and being in the right place at the right time in some ways.
We just want to make sure that we're positioning ourselves so that we're there when they have that problem, that we can solve for them. And I think it's exciting because we live in this time where technology is getting less and less expensive. I know for Jeannie and I, every year the software that we use costs less and less money, which is fantastic because we used to pay a fortune in software a decade ago. It's really affordable to hire overseas, which is what we specialize in, marketing virtual assistants from the Philippines. And when we first started hiring in the Philippines back years ago, there wasn't a Zoom. It was a lot harder to do the process. It was a lot more challenging. And all the communication was basically email. Everything's gotten easier as far as managing a remote team. Technology's gotten more affordable. We have more and more of these free platforms. Yes, you can pay to run ads on all of the social media platforms. But if you just put out great content, you can really start to build your business organically. So That's still amazing for people who maybe just don't have the money to spend on ads right away or to learn how to run ads. But yeah, it's so amazing to me how much easier it is to make money now and how much more affordable it is to own a business like this than it was a decade ago. So
Yeah.
everything is just, the timing's right. Like if you have a desire to build a business, there is nothing in your way. There should be absolutely nothing stopping you. And I think I can speak for myself and for Jeannie. We all put up our own roadblocks, right? We all sometimes sabotage ourselves. But as far as the tools that you have and the affordability that you have for the things that you need to grow a business, never a better time.
Yeah, look at things that are out there. Like Kirsten said, we have marketing virtual assistants that we train and we wrote the process for, that we essentially just match you up with. And the decision is still yours, but $200 a month for somebody who will work for you for 20 hours a week. That's 80 to 100 hours a month of work being done. Consistent work, focused work on marketing, because as much as wonderful as the opportunity is out there, because we have so many platforms, it's also a challenge to be on all the platforms.
Yeah.
But when you have a process whereby everybody knows what's happening and everybody knows how this video gets produced and repurposed and emailed and blogged and all of that, it's just amazing. And you are certainly getting in front of people and being there at the right time.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're just starting your business and you literally do not have any money, you just have no money, you have time. A virtual assistant spending 20 hours a week marketing, you have time. Spend 20 hours a week doing your marketing, right? So if you're not marketing and you're not having a conversation with someone about buying your product or service, what are you doing? So those are the things that are going to help you generate revenue: marketing your business or talking to people who can buy your product or service. So if you don't have money, if you're in a position where you don't have money, remember, you have all these free platforms to be on. It's just a matter for you to get in there and learn how to do it, create a strategy for yourself, and be consistent. Once your business takes off, your time is more valuable, because I doubt that there's anyone on here whose time isn't worth more than $3 an hour, right? And that's what you can pay, as little as $3 an hour, to have someone actually doing marketing for you. It's actually a little less than $3 an hour. But the reality is that's something that you have at your fingertips, which frees you up to do other things. So in other words, if your marketing is being done for you, it gives you more time to work on creating really good content in the first place, because it all starts with you having a good content strategy and a good marketing strategy and taking advantage of SEO. And then from there, hopefully you're going to be booking more sales calls, or perhaps creating a few more lead magnets. You're going to be doing the things that you can't really give to a virtual assistant, because it takes your thoughts, your knowledge, and your skills to put it together. So you get to spend your time doing those higher end strategy things while someone else is just doing the repetitive task, editing a video, creating graphics in Canva, things like that. So it really is amazing to think about like what you can do with your business and what you can do with your time. How can you get out there and generate more money? So for us, it's about, I do some local networking. We have our marketing team that's doing a lot of our marketing. Our goal is to book as many sales calls as we can each week and then bring on another salesperson this year. So what are your goals? What do you want to do to hit your goal for 2023? And I guess we should talk a little bit about setting that goal. So if you've just started a business and you've never even made a six-figure income yourself, setting a goal to do like $1 million your first year might feel unreachable. It's totally possible. In this world, like everything's possible. But if you don't believe that you can hit that goal, then you're not even going to try. So set a goal that feels like it's something that you know that you can write out the steps and make it happen. You know that you need to have 10 sales a month in order to hit $100,000. And in order to have 10 sales, you need to have 50 sales calls. Okay, well now your marketing has to bring in those 50 sales calls. So now you have a plan. Now you have a way to figure out how you can make that happen. And then you're always looking to improve it. Can I improve my marketing so we're booking more than 50 sales calls? Can I improve my close rate? So maybe I get it to the point where I close 12 instead of 10 people a month out of 50. So thinking about how you're going to improve what you're doing. But if you don't have that plan to hit that goal, and if that goal feels so out of this world to you that you don't even sit down and try to map out a plan, then it's not going to happen unless you win the lottery or unless you get really lucky. But most people who are those overnight successes in business are the ones who have really put in the time, put in the effort, worked hard, kept learning new things, trying new things, monitoring what they're doing and improving. So set a goal that you feel excited about. Set a goal that scares you, but that still feels doable to you. Like it can scare the heck out of you, but if you can sit down on paper and write out what it would take to make it happen, then that's a goal that you can really accomplish.
Yeah. And then be sure that you're doing the follow through because it's all well and good to make this grand plan and to say, I want to make a 6-figure income this year because I didn't last year. That's great. But like Kirsten said, write it down. First of all, write down those numbers, decide how often you're going to review your number. Every Friday, have a look at how many people did I get on a phone call or did I have an interaction with? And then what were the results? And because it's really important, because you may need to change, if you're DMing people, you may need to change your copywriting. Or if you're doing a video, you may need to have better SEO skills so that you know the titles that you're putting on your video are reaching the people that you need to reach. It's really important to hold yourself accountable to achieving those goals and to achieving what you know you need to achieve. And that's hard. It's really hard. We've all had trouble with that. So you can join a group to hold you accountable. You can do a mastermind. In the people in our group, in our program, we meet with them every week. We are available for them every week for an hour or two, depending on what they need, to answer any questions, to talk about their specific goals. And a lot of them don't have questions. They just show up because they want to absorb what other people are learning and because people are asking really smart questions that they didn't even think to ask. So if you're not comfortable that you could achieve that goal on your own, then figure out what it is that you need to do to make that happen.
Yeah, and maybe the goal is to bring on your first virtual assistant. For a lot of our clients, their marketing virtual assistant is their first team member. And what I think is so amazing about this, and it wasn't something that I expected, was when they say things like, I feel like a real business owner, or I had no idea how isolated I felt in my business, or I'm so excited for my meetings with my marketing virtual assistant because we brainstorm ideas. And she's not just a person who's doing tasks. She really is a person who brings ideas and we come up with something better when we put our heads together. So what has to happen for you to achieve your goals? Because it really is exciting with all the possibilities and all the things that are out there to help you make that happen.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, when we first got our first marketing virtual assistant and she did all of the social media posts that I had been doing and slogging through the mud just to get them unique and get them branded and make them look good. Back in the day, we had to use all the Adobe products. You had Illustrator and Photoshop in there. And I know how to use them, but they're just so big and so cumbersome that now we have simple things like Canva that has templates in it already.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, when that day, I can still remember I gave the assignment to our marketing VA, here, repurpose this video and do it on all these platforms and all these different sizes and things. And the next morning they were all done and all scheduled. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. This is like magic. And it freed me up and freed up the bandwidth, the creativity in my brain so that I could think of other ways to reach out to people or how to make something better. It's like, we all have this creativity in us because we're all entrepreneurs. So we're always thinking, how can we do something better? How can we help people even more? And a lot of times we get stuck because we don't have enough time to do the research, to try things out. But when you've got somebody else who's helping you get the consistency out there, you feel like a rock star. It's amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah. And like I said, when we first started hiring, it was actually for Jean's marketing agency. And she had people doing websites for her clients. So she had people doing all kinds of different work for her clients. And what's been really funny is several of our clients now, after hiring their marketing virtual assistant, have actually started hiring virtual assistants to help them do their client work. So it really can take you to a whole new level once you've had the opportunity to experience how awesome it is to not be like the one person show, one person band, like playing all the instruments. Like you actually have somebody helping you and supporting you. And I think 2023 is going to be a great year for a lot of people. And it's really exciting as we've been talking to people about their goals and setting their goals. It's just like, I don't know, I'm more excited about this than Christmas. Always more excited about goal setting than Christmas.
Yeah, one of our clients came on board and he was really excited because he's a big fan of video and he knows how powerful it is. And he actually had some videos that he already done but they needed to be edited properly. And so he was excited about the program. And then once we got him in the program and we connected him with the right virtual assistant, the first thing he said to us was, "This is amazing. And now I can see my business blossoming and growing exponentially bigger than I could have ever imagined before."
Which is crazy because he already had really big goals and a really big vision. It was somebody who already had these massive goals, had a couple of businesses. And then when he said that, like it opened him up to even think even bigger. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was amazing.
Awesome.
So thanks so much for being here. Take care. Bye.